Newsshooter coverage of Cine Gear 2024 is sponsored by B&H and Atlas Lens Co.
Eric Nason with Newsshooter.com, and we are at Cine Gear 2024 here in Los Angeles, and I'm at the Tilta booth with Nick. How's it going, Nick?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Sun just came out, and we're ready to talk about a new product from Tilta.
Yeah.
What do we got?
So this is the Hydra Alien Pro. This is the updated version of our very popular Hydra Alien, which at its kind of simplest is it's a small shock absorbing arm for gimbals and cameras. This one is going to have a pretty high payload compared to the previous system at about 30 pounds. But the idea is that you can mount this whether it's speed rail, whether it's a dovetail system that we make, whether it's suction cups, you can mount this to your vehicle. You can get some pretty creative, smooth cinematic car shots, and then you can pack it back up relatively quickly.
And it's, like you said when we were talking earlier, it's designed to be compact, easy to use, not like on the giant arm, like the longer ones, because the payload, this is a little bit too heavy for putting way out on an arm, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is still, even though it does have a higher payload of up to 30 pounds, it is still designed for someone who's looking to put it on maybe like a personal vehicle and not so much like a camera car if they're building it out. With the speed rail mount, if you already have a speed rail system, it is pretty simple to kind of throw onto an existing car rig, but this is not something you need to have a dedicated, large kind of infrastructure to support.
And controlling it, you guys have a controller for that kind of utilizes the Ronin system and as it integrates with it, right?
Yeah, so we have a lot of control options for the Ronins. This essentially will work with even some of the larger Ronins like the Ronin 2. But what is the kind of new feature of this, as you can kind of see, is that we actually have motors on this dampening head. So it's the same motor on each side for both front and back kind of dampening. And then what that allows you to do is either manually adjust how stiff the dampening is, and then we'll also have control options, possibly an app that will allow you to adjust this on the fly while you're shooting.
So what's nice is it's bright out here right now and I can see that screen. That's pretty good because these are going to be used outside. You thought about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it does have the protective cover, which dims it down a bit to kind of save the screen from getting burned out, but definitely designed to be used in direct sunlight.
Now with the motors and the payload being more, does it require a higher wattage batteries and you get a little bit less usage because of that, or it's pretty much the same type of power draw?
Pretty similar. It is going to draw more power, but I would say with running these V-mount batteries, you definitely are not using that much more power. Like the previous system, most people were not swapping batteries very often because these gimbals to run off 14 volts is not going to run through in a day. And it still has a system that takes two of them, meaning you're sending power from the battery into the arm and then into the gimbal. And similar to a gimbal, it's only using that extra power when it's actively stabilizing. So if this is running right now, it's still at 15.8 volts. We haven't swapped a battery in a couple hours. So.
And it's nice that it's all integrated. You only have to use this power system and it powers the whole deal.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice, very simple. You also mentioned you have some accessories as well coming.
Yeah, so the kind of full kit of this is going to be very similar to the Hydra Alien, a little bit more expensive. We're expecting the arm itself in the smaller configuration to be around $2,000, but we have a full kind of dovetail suction cup system that I think is a pretty big upgrade compared to the Hydra Alien, with a new kind of safety pin locking feature, also with sliding dovetails, meaning if you're adjusting the position of the arm relative to your vehicle, you can make these tiny adjustments on the fly without needing to take the whole arm off, put it back on as you did previously. So we'll have options for, every kind of setup that I think most of our users would be looking to do.
Fantastic. So you said basically the entry price for the Hydra Alien Pro is how much?
Around $2,000, and we most likely will have a couple different options, likely maxing out around $3,000 for kind of like the ultimate kit with everything included. But at its start, $2,000, still a step up from the Hydra Alien. The old Hydra Alien's not going anywhere, as it does have a lower payload. We didn't want to, get rid of it.
And when can people pick one up?
So we're going to have more information in terms of exactly when this is shipping right after Cine Gear. I would imagine that we're not going to be taking orders until later in the summer, but we'll have the exact information on our website, so keep an eye out.
All right. Thanks a lot, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely.